Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Mark here at the Good Managers Guide. Come to you unscripted and keeping it real, as I always do. And I've got a question for you straight away. Are you a manager that is just throwing out tasks to your team members, right? So let me give you an example. Maybe you meet every 2 weeks, every 4 weeks, and you use some kind of system, technology, or just word of mouth, and you're giving tasks out. And your team members are saying, okay, fine. They might ask you a question, but they go away and they act on that task. The action in it, but you're not seeing the outcomes that you want. Let's talk about outcomes real quick before we go any further. Your job as a manager is to get high outcomes, okay? I advise all the managers that I coach to aim for high outcomes every day. Outcomes such as high attendance, high satisfaction rates, high motivation, right? Those kind of things. For you to get those kind of things in a high level, you have got to stop just handing out tasks. Why is that? Well, there's reasons for it. One thing is this: a lot of managers, they give tasks out, but they don't explain the significance and the meaning behind the tasks or the objectives at hand. So people go into those tasks blind. Let me draw something out for you. We're focusing on right here, as you can see on the screen, designing work around people and not just tasks. So when we're talking about design, you're the manager right here, all right? And as the manager, you're giving task X or objective X to this employee right here, okay? E. And when you do that, this person that we're talking about, this employee that we're talking about right here, okay? They're going to take that on. They're going to get on with it. Maybe they know what they're doing, maybe they don't. But you've got to find a balance and you've got to gauge it based on your team members. Because if you start handing tasks out to this person right here without giving them any substance behind what that task is, why it exists, what needs to happen with that task, any significance around that task, what the outcomes need to look like. If you don't do that, you're going to start to find people become despondent. Okay, I've seen this happen firsthand. Okay, I've seen it happen in other managers where I've had to come in and take over and really iron those things out, okay, and get the team motivated again. You're going to see demotivation on levels where people don't turn up for work. But here's the thing. Most managers blame the employees, but the problem is the manager themselves, because they're not taking the time to engage with their team members. So have a think about that if you're been doing that, if you're that type of manager, that you're handing tasks out and leaving them to it. And you might say to yourself, well, if we come down here, you might be saying, well, I'm giving my team full autonomy. So looking at this section right here, I'm giving them autonomy and they're happy to take responsibility on. But motivation is lacking. Well, if motivation is lacking right here, then I'm sorry, but I've got to tell you, you got to start self-reflecting, because if you're a manager right here, and take this scenario again, you're giving out task X. Okay, task X goes over to the employee and the employee takes it on. Let's just change this scenario right here. Let's just say that you have given significance to this employee about the objective at hand. They understand the significance of that task, the weight of that task, the importance of that task, the priority of that task. They understand these things. They're going to deliver on that and engage with you on it. And they're going to give you some of the results that you need or want. Okay? Now, let's just say that you give them full autonomy. Well, there's two things that can happen here. A bad manager gives them autonomy, doesn't engage, and that person works in isolation. They're working in isolation so much so that they don't really know where they're heading, but they're just trying to get the task done. Equally, you've got a manager that is giving this person autonomy, but they're engaging with them and they're setting them up for success because they've given them significance and motivation behind the task, because that person now understands why that task or that objective exists and the responsibility that they have on their hands with that task. And the responsibility could be high or low or anywhere in between. But the difference there in what we're describing is a manager that engages and starts designing the task at hand and the job at hand, right? As opposed to a manager that just says, okay, well, I'm going to give my team full autonomy and I just throw stuff at them. And I've seen that happen. Now, people will get things done because they're getting rewarded, they're getting paid. But think about the emotional impact on your team members. Just think about that. Think about the motivational aspects where you are responsible for those people that don't want to turn up for work anymore. because you're overloading them with tasks. They don't understand what's going on. They try and get this stuff done, okay? But at the same time, there's no sense of direction. So let's look at that in terms of meaningful feedback and driving performance on this last piece. You as a manager have a responsibility to have that feedback loop. You should be engaging, right? So you're setting out task X, and you've got your employee here, okay, right here, who's on the receiving end of task X. But what you're not doing, or maybe you are giving feedback, either one, whether you are or you are not. But if you're giving feedback and you are not quantifying or qualifying and backing your statements, and if you don't set out the significance of the task at hand in the first place and have people understand the meaning behind it and why they're working on it, could be that they've got the right skill sets and new opportunity for them, and that the task is of high priority because the business depends on it. If you're not doing that and you're not giving feedback, or when you do give feedback, in fact, guess what? They're not going to engage with you. They're not going to listen. They're not going to want to know because you weren't there in the first place to begin with. And so you can't drive performance. Your performance here starts to go down, and you don't want that. What you want is your performance to be up. As I said, you want outcomes. You want high outcomes, high performance, high motivation, high attendance, high satisfaction. And the way to get that is to engage with your team, okay, and to start having them understand that they have that task at hand, they have that responsibility, they have the autonomy, but there's significance behind what they're doing in this full engagement. Then you start to see the change in the team members, and you start to see the results come through, and you start to see people turning up for work and motivated to do the next thing. It is down to you to engage with them. It's down to you to design what's in front of them, okay? Now, if you want to find out more about this is high level, but if you want to go deeper, come see us at the Good Manager's Guide. Come to our level 1 course. I go deeper into this and I map it all out, help you understand it more. For now, I hope this high level overview and this explanation has helped you out. I hope it's been value to you. It should be. Take it away, see what you can do with it, see how you can work with it in your environment. And if you want that little bit more, we've got more to offer. Let us know in the comments, right? Come to our LinkedIn group page, come and get involved with the community. If you want to get in touch and have more of a conversation about this, feel free to do so, okay? You can get in touch with us at contact@thegoodmanagersguide.com. Okay, send us a message, come to our contact page on our website, www.goodmanagersguide.com. We're here to help you. We're here to elevate managers, get you the right skill sets. We understand that a lot of managers out there have been put into positions and they don't even know this stuff exists, okay? And they're giving tasks out thinking they're doing the right thing, and they're lacking all of the other things that sit behind it. Want to help you out, helping the managers of today, building the futures for the leaders of tomorrow. Hope this was of value to you. See you on the next one. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.